Yo. Original Lone Wolf coming at y'all, man. I got a quick little video. I wanted to do a different screen share talking about some stuff with the governor here and this so-called accountability commission that he's putting or allegedly has put together by way of executive order for the holding ICE accountable for the shit they do. But that video didn't work out too well, so I'm gonna have to start it over and redo it. All right. What I want to talk to you guys about really quick, man, I don't want to make this video super long, but this is one of those videos where you have to see what I'm talking about. The topic of this video is about your tax dollars. Excuse me. And I probably should go into a more lengthier video than this, but I'll choose to do that at a later time. It depends on how many views I get, and it also depends on, the type of comments I get. Because believe it or not, I've never told you guys this, but a lot of the comments you guys leave, that fuel the direction that I'll go in with certain videos. Meaning, like certain comments you guys leave on my videos, it'll spark me to do another video. Like videos I've made was born from y'all comments. I just ain't never told y'all that. But, I'm hearing all this stuff about them shutting down EBT in November and, the stuff that they doing with, with the illegal migrants and, how they was saying they was taking our tax dollars and, all these other different things, right? And basically they're just saying it's your tax dollars that's funding it. But nobody specifically points out what tax dollars they're talking about, right? So I'm only going to cover just one, and that's the income tax. What you're looking at on screen is from Cornell Law School. This is 31. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back. As you can see at the top, this is Title 31. I want you all to see, I want you to see the code, and I want you all to be able to pull it up for yourself to read it. This is Title 31. Title 31 is the Treasury Department, right? The Treasury Department and the Internal Revenue Service work hand in hand. It's like one of them is the fingers, and the other one is the glove. They work hand in hand, okay? So Title 31 is the Treasury Department. Title 26 is the Internal Revenue. Under 31 USC 321, right, we're going to click on it. And we're going to go to section D1 and D2. So you got A starts it off. Okay. We're going to scroll down to D. There's B right there where it say the secretary may. And in this particular context, the secretary they're talking about is the Secretary of the Treasury. It used to be Janet Yellen. I don't know who the fuck it is now. I get tired of trying to keep up. But Janet Yellen was the old Treasury. Secretary of Treasury. This person is not the Treasury anymore. It's somebody else. You fucking look it up and tell me in the comment section. Shit. Okay, so we're going to go down to D1 and D2. I want you all to listen to this very carefully. It says the Secretary of the Treasury may accept, hold, administer, and use gifts and bequests of property, both real and personal, for the purposes of aiding or facilitating the work of the Department of Treasury. Gifts and bequests of money and the proceeds from the sales of other property received as gifts or bequests shall be deposited into the Treasury. That's where your money go. When they take taxes and shit out of your check, federal taxes, FICA and all that bullshit, when they take the taxes out of your check, when the company you work for take the taxes out of your check, unless you tell them not to do it, that money is deposited in the Treasury Department. That's where the money go. It don't go into the IRS's account. It goes into the Treasury Department. It's like the Treasury Department is like Don Corleone, right? And the Internal Revenue Service is all of the goons that work under them. The hired hand, the hired gunman, the motherfucker that come break your knees when you ain't paid up in a week and all this other shit. That's who the IRS is. It says gifts and bequests of money and the proceeds from sales and other properties received as gifts or bequests shall be deposited in the Treasury in a separate fund and shall be dispersed on the order of the Secretary of Treasury. Property accepted under this paragraph and the proceeds thereof shall be used as nearly as possible in accordance to the terms and the gift or bequest. Section D2. for the purposes of the federal income. And they're being specific. They're telling you the federal income, the estate, and gift taxes are property and accepted under paragraph 1 shall be considered a gift or a bequest to or for the use of the United States. Okay? So, what is the United States? 28 USC 3002. And you see, they already give you 15A. That's like the first option to go to show you how much this shit is regularly looked up. So it's like, what the fuck is the United States? I don't like this AI overview shit. I really don't deal with that shit, chat GBT and all that other shit. I don't fuck with none of that. So we're going to do it the long way. We're going to scroll down to 15A. What does that say? It say the United States means a federal corporation. What does section B say? An agency, department, commission, board, or other entity of the United States. That's how you get your Department of Transportation. That's how you get your Department of Homeland Security. That's how you get your Department of Agriculture and all this other shit. That's where it comes from. So again, let's go back to 31 USC 321, subsection D2. For purposes of the federal income, estate, and gift taxes. They told you all three of them. It's 3 different taxes, people. That's why you see a comma after all of them. At the federal income, don't you see that comma? That means there's more. At the estate, don't you see that comma? That means more. There's more to come. It's not just that. It's a gift taxes. The property accepted under paragraph 1 shall be considered a gift or bequest to or for the use of the United States. Your federal income taxes is considered a gift. So when y'all over here talking about my tax dollars is paying for the migrants to be here, it's like, okay, well, we'll cover that in a second, right? In terms of like the whole tax thing. It's like, but what I need to understand is which taxes are you talking about? Because they tell you your federal income tax is considered a gift or bequest. Do y'all know what a bequest is? Let's look it up. Let's look it up. I get so tired of this. We're at Online Etymology Dictionary. That's the name of this site that I'm at. Let's look up bequest. It's a bequest, act of bequeathing. B from B plus Siwis or Siwis saying, related to quoth from Proto-Germanic, from pi root gerut to say speak. Also compare bequeath with unetymological as in behest. The meaning legacy, that which is bequeathed, is recorded from late 15th century. So it's like, that's kind of weird. It's like, I don't understand all that shit. The only thing I really understood was where it said also compare bequeath, right? So let's go and look up what bequeath is. Hold on, guys, my bad. So here's what bequeath means. To say, speak, exhort, blame, also leave by will. To say, speak, to, exhort, blame, also leave by will. What you are doing is you're giving over something. You're speaking something. You're saying something. So in the context that the Treasury Department is using that for, they're saying you're giving this to us. You are exhorting this to them. You know how a person say, don't sort of exhort your authority over me and all that. That means don't place your authority upon me. What you are doing is giving them the authority to take that money and use it the way they see fit. It also say to leave by will. We all know what the fuck a will is. I shouldn't have to go into that shit. Okay, so now let's go back to this. Let's go up to here. Remember I told y'all Title 26 is the Internal Revenue Code, right? So let's go to 26 CFR, which stands for Code of Federal Regulations. And we're going to go to 601.602. Let's see if they've changed it in all this time. And again, we're going to go back to Cornell Law University. The title for this section is Tax Forms and Instructions. Section A says, tax forms and instructions. The Internal Revenue Service develop forms and instructions that explains the requirements of the Internal Revenue Code and regulations. The service distributes the forms and instructions to help taxpayers comply with the law. The system is based on voluntary compliance. And the taxpayer complete and return the form with payment of any taxes owed. I don't think you guys are hearing me, man. I'm going to read it one more time. First off, we're going to go all the way back to the top. The title of 26 CFR 601.602 is entitled Tax Forms and the Instructions to these forms. Section A, Tax Forms and Instructions. The Internal Revenue Service developed forms and instructions that explain the requirements of the Internal Revenue Code and regulations. The service distributes the forms and instructions to help taxpayers comply with the law. If you just leave it at that, you'll say, oh my God, it's lawful. If you don't keep going. Right after that, it tells you the tax system. Do I need to fucking break down what a system is? I don't need to break that down. Please tell me I don't. The tax system is based on voluntary compliance. And the taxpayer should complete and return the form with the payment of any taxes owed. So now let's do this because we see the word taxpayer a couple of times. So let's do this just for kicks and giggles. Because somebody should be watching this video right now and they should be saying, well, okay, well, Original Law Wolf, they said you just read that it's supposed to be voluntary compliance and all this other shit. What the fuck is a taxpayer? Right? Good question. It's an excellent question. Let's see what the Internal Revenue Service tell you a taxpayer is. 26 USC 7701. My bad, guys. Just their definition section. So, 26 USC 7701 is the definition section. Let's see if we can find something in here that defines what the fuck a taxpayer is. Doody-doo, doody-doo, doody-doo. La la la. Uh-oh, 26 USC 7701 section 14. It say the term taxpayer mean any person subjected to any internal revenue tax. Do you know what that means? If you voluntarily comply, you're a taxpayer. It says the term taxpayer means any person subject to any internal revenue tax. The only people that are subjected to the fucking tax is the people that do it voluntary. So what are you guys talking about? My tax dollars pay for this and I'm sick and tired of my tax dollars going for people food stamps and all this other shit. Then the other question that I have, what about the Cesti Trust? Didn't the Wisconsin Supreme Court rule back in 1912 that every taxpayer was a Cesti Trust? Somebody look that shit up, man. Somebody contradict me. I be looking for people to contradict what the fuck I'm saying. That's one of the reasons why I never turn my comments off, ever. If you see a situation where my comments ain't on, it wasn't me, man. I didn't do it. I'm still waiting on people to fucking contradict me. Like, look, man, we got to get out of this matrix. Well, or should I say, y'all niggas, and not necessarily people that subscribe to me, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like the people who watch my channel and shit, y'all know I'm not really talking about y'all. Because if y'all had any type of fucking brains, y'all would be going behind me looking this shit up for yourself. Like, wait a minute, that nigga said 26 USC. You should be doing this. You should be going behind me. Like, wait a minute, nigga, I need to see this for myself. I've been hearing for a long time that paying taxes was voluntary. I need to see this for myself. You should be looking it up for yourself. This is the fucking reason why I'm telling you exactly what I'm typing in. This is why I'm showing you. So when you hear people talk this shit about my tax dollars pay for this and my tax dollars pay for that, you have to ask them, what taxes are you talking about? Now, I mean, maybe with all of the different sales tax they got, because there's a tax hidden in everything. There's a gas tax, right? But you don't see that when you go to the gas station. You just see, the price for regular, mid-grade, and premium. And if you a nigga who drive the type of car I got, you put premium in your shit and you spending roughly a whole $1 more than regular. You feel me? But you don't see the tax that's in it. But there's a tax that's in that shit. When you go to buy a home and shit, you supposed to have insurance and all this other shit. There's a tax within the insurance. That total amount you pay per month for your home insurance, not all of that is going to the insurance company. A portion of that go to the government. So I guess that's maybe what they're talking about. But then again, like I said, that don't make any sense either if you want to come at it from a Cesti K trust standpoint. If everybody has a trust, if the United States Incorporate, which is the trustee, right? And the motherfuckers who are walking around talking about their United States citizens, which you should be more of an American national than a United States citizen. But just to not get caught up in the word porn and shit, we'll just say U.S. citizen. If everybody's shit is held in trust, right, which we know as the Cesti K trust, right? If everybody's shit is held in trust and the United States Incorporated is the trustee and we're all the beneficiaries, then again, I'm back to the same question. What tax dollars of yours pay for EVT? I don't get it. Now, somebody drop down the comment section, man. Hopefully I'm not the only one studying this. Like I tell you, I leave other things to other people. I can't cover, other people can't cover everything. I was trying to get a certain person to understand that about a few months ago, but he wasn't trying to hear that. So I leave certain things to other people. And shout out to you. I am baby girl Slaughter, aka Curl and Denise. I told you my mama named Curlin. But shout out to you because like the stuff that you read and the stuff that you're bringing forth to the people, with all that information combined with the information I have, we can't do all that shit by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do your shit over there, your portion, and I'll try to back you up over here with my shit and my portion. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't, it's just too much shit. And every time you turn around, she reading a different book and it's like, oh my God, what the hell is she reading today? And my point of saying that is that much shit. And it's like how I told y'all, I read too. Just like y'all just heard me reading some shit to y'all just now. You know what I'm saying? But we have to get out of this matrix for the ones that are still in it. Now, people like I am baby girl Slaughter, people like her, I ain't talking about her. I'm not worried about her. I think she, we all gonna make mistakes and we all gonna fall short of being perfect. But people like her and many others, they kind of get it. They kind of, even if they can't see it from my way, from A to Z and everything in between, they still see over 75% of it, which is good. That's winning. You know what I'm saying? But for the people that's still in the matrix, man, y'all got to get out of this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why they haven't changed, let's go back to 26 CFR. The reason for why they haven't changed 26 CFR 601.602 Section A is because that would piss people off like Donald Trump. I'm going to say it one more motherfucking time. Donald Trump nor any other billionaire has ever gotten in trouble for not paying taxes, and it's because they weren't supposed to. They didn't volunteer. They didn't volunteer to pay taxes. Or at some point they backed out of it and said, that you wanted to expatriate. They didn't want to deal with that shit no more. And they chose to not pay anymore. But either way, people like Donald Trump, that motherfucker grew up never paying taxes. His daddy didn't pay no fucking taxes. And this is the reason. The tax system is based on voluntary compliance. That's what Donald Trump has over you. That's how you know that him and Hillary Clinton was in on it together when they was debating. Because that bitch don't pay taxes either. Not no real motherfucking taxes. Now the shit you talking about, I pay my taxes, I'm willing to show my tax return, is all bullshit. With the Clinton Foundation and all this other shit that they doing down in Haiti and all this other fucking bullshit, do you think she gonna really show you some real motherfucking tax? Get the fuck out of here, all right? And that's all I got to say, man. I'm out.